The following is a short film demonstrating the theme of nature as an adversary, Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. Here and there, a military camp lost in a wilderness, like a needle in a bundle of hay, cold, fog, tempest, disease, exile, and death. Death skulking in the air, in the water, in the bush, land in a swamp, march through the woods, and in some inland post feel the savagery. The utter savagery had closed around him.
The eyes are not here. There are no eyes here, in this valley of dying stars, in this hollow valley, this broken jaw of our lost kingdoms. One might recall Marlon Brando's famed recitation of these words as Rogue Commander Kurtz in Coppola's 1979 Apocalypse Now, a semi-adaptation of Joseph Conrad's The Heart of Darkness. Few artists within memory have produced more striking depictions portraying the theme of darkness, specifically a darkness which, for the most part, lies untamed in those regions of Earth which offer the greatest amount of seclusion and freedom than those of T.S. Eliot's Hollow Men and Joseph Conrad's The Heart of Darkness.
And there it was, black, dried, sunken with those dozed eyelids. A head seemed to sleep at the top of the pole, and with the shrunken, dry lips showing a narrow white line of teeth was smiling, too, smiling continuously at the endless and jocose dream of that eternal slumber. He approaches the scene of the heads of the poles. Marlowe, he just doesn't tell us, oh, by the way, the ornamental knobs were actually heads. No, he actually walks us through it. These round knobs were not ornamental but symbolic. They were expressive and puzzling, striking and disturbing. Food for thought.
Flames glided in the river. Small green flames, red flames, white flames. Now, when I was a little chap, I had a passion for maps. I would look for hours at South America, or Africa, or Australia, and lose myself in all the glories of exploration. At that time, there were many blank spaces on the earth, and when I saw one that looked particularly inviting on a map, I would put my finger on it and say, when I grow up, I will go there. But there was one yet, the biggest, the most blank, so to speak, that I had a hankering after. True, by this time it was not a blank space anymore. It had got filled since my boyhood with rivers and lakes and names. It had ceased to be a blank space of delightful mystery, a white patch for a boy to dream gloriously over. It had become a place of darkness, but there was in it one river especially, a mighty big river, that you could see on the map, resembling an immense snake uncoiled, with its head in the sea, its body at rest, curving afar over a vast country, and its tail lost in the depths of the land. The snake had charmed me. When vegetation rotted on the earth and the big trees were kings, an impenetrable forest. The air was warm, thick, heavy, sluggish. There was no joy in the brilliance of sunshine. Into the gloom of overshadowed distances, you lost your way on that river as you would in a desert, and butted all day along against shoals, trying to find the channel, till you thought yourself bewitched and cut off forever from everything you had known. Overwhelming realities of the strange world of plants and water and silence. And this stillness of life did not in the least resemble a peace. It was the stillness of an implacable force brooding over an inscrutable intention. Then the night came suddenly and struck you blind as well. About 3 a.m, some large fish leaped, and the loud splash made me jump as though a gun had been fired. When the sun rose, there was a white fog, very warm and clammy, and more blinding than the night. It did not shift or drive, it was just there.
Conrad's famed anti-hero, Marlowe, has his illusions slowly stripped as he observes the brutality of the Belgian settlers in their manipulation of the native Congo tribespeople. He notices how the behaviors and morals of the Belgian settlers have been transformed in the seclusion of the Congo, and in viewing its natives as less than beings and more like any other natural resource, theirs to claim and bend at their will. Ultimately, the root of this behavioral mutation being the nature of the environment in which they have found themselves. In observing the distant and somewhat tolerant sense Marlowe displays while recalling such disturbing content, one may anticipate that Conrad himself may have had some background in the story's subject matter. Conrad not only served a 3-year appointment with a Belgian trade company in the Congo, but in fact was at one point the captain of a steamer and drew from this experience in writing the novel. This might lead some people to make the presumably correct assumption that Marlowe's character may be somewhat autobiographical. In commenting on the pessimistic mood of his earlier works, Conrad states how the prolific and destructive richness of tropical nature and the dreariness of human life within it accorded well with what he felt needed most urgently to be conveyed.
A cry, a very loud cry, as of infinite desolation, soared slowly in the opaque air. It ceased. A complaining clamor, modulated in savage discord, filled our ears. But there was the fact facing me, the fact dazzling to be seen, like a ripple on an unfathomable enigma, a mystery greater, when I thought of it, than the curious, inexplicable note of desperate grief in the savage clamor that had swept by us on the riverbank, behind the blind whiteness of the fog.